Hello, hello, hello. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. What is going on? Let me see who we have on today, who we have on tonight. What is going on? I see Shaquante. Hey, Shaquante. I see Nicole. Hey, Nicole. I see Tanya. I see Kamalita. Hey, Kamalita. Hey, y'all, drop day one in the chat if this is day one for you. Drop day two in the chat if this is day two for you. It looks like Shaquante says, I am excited. Shaquante, this is day one for you. Welcome, Shaquante. Tanya says day two. Nicole says day one. Nicole, I thought you couldn't make it this weekend. What happened, Nicole? What happened? We give others another minute to join. If you haven't done so already, grab yourself a journal, something to write with, okay, to take notes. Nicole is like, plans change. Okay, Nicole. Who else do we have on? If you're day one, where are you tuning in from? Where are you tuning in from? I see Sapphire. Welcome, Sapphire. Okay, I see Brittany. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Dana. Okay, Mississippi is here. All right. Dana says, hey, Dana. All right, y'all, we are going to get started. We are going to dive right in. Who else do we have on? Let me see. Tanya. Hey, Tanya. Day one in the chat if this is day one for you. Day two in the chat if this is day two for you. Y'all don't sound like I'm losing my voice. Last night I might have been. I think I was screaming last night. We had fun last night. We might have had too much fun last night. I feel like my voice is like, my voice sounds scratchy to y'all, or is it just me? It sounds like I've been straining or something. I need to rest. I am going to rest tomorrow after our day three call. Okay, Philly's in the building. All right. Shaquante says, no, it doesn't sound like I'm hoarse. Okay, cool. Kamalita. Hey, Kamalita. Okay, Georgia is in the building. All right, we're going to get started, okay? We're going to be together for 60 minutes. Okay. So make sure you are distraction free. Make sure you have something to take notes with. Okay. So that you can do some self-reflection. My skin is glowing. Oh, thank you. Yes. I've been using this vitamin C on my face, Shaquante, and that's what have it glowing like that. And I naturally have oily skin already. But yes, thank you. Everyone keeps saying that my skin is glowing. I started using vitamin C as my skincare regimen, and it is like, it keeps my skin clear, dark spots, all of that. I highly recommend vitamin C, y'all. Vitamin C, I put it all over my face. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, perfect. We are going to get started with the Date Good Men workshop. Okay, the 2024 Date Good Men workshop. All right, so who is this woman? Okay, I am Latrice Carpenter, and I am a love coach. I help high achieving women of faith break the patterns of unhealthy relationships so that they attract quality men for marriage. And I help them through my Ready for Love system, where women go through the step-by-step process to attract the man meant for them for marriage. Now, women come to me after being stuck in unhealthy relationship patterns, and they have tried almost everything to fix it. They've tried YouTubing, they've tried reading, they've even tried counseling, but they are still stuck after 5 years, after 10 years, or even after 20 years. Okay. And after working with me, they receive breakthroughs in their love lives. They remove the barriers blocking true love so that they get married, they get engaged. Some are now in long-term relationships, and some just receive contentment in their single season, which is going to lead to a healthy and fulfilling marriage when it's time. Okay. And this weekend, I am going to spend 3 days. Okay. Yesterday was day 1. Today is day 2. Tomorrow will be day 3. Okay. We're going to talk all about discernment tomorrow. So make sure you are right back here tomorrow. I'm spending this next 3 days to help you with learning 3 powerful things. 3 powerful things that you can do to start attracting and choosing better men for marriage. Okay. All right. So those 3 things that we've been talking about this weekend. 1, yesterday we talked about elevating your attraction. And you ladies who were here for day 1, we learned that attraction is not just with your looks. Attraction is a disposition, okay? It is the climate of what it means to get close to you, okay? What it means to get to know you, okay? 2 is practice having charisma. And then 3, grow your discernment. Okay. So this is day 2. Day 2 is all about practicing having charisma. And before we go in here, what do you know about charisma? Have anyone in here heard of the word charisma or heard how the word charisma is used? When you think of charisma, what do you think about? Okay. If someone was to say that person, she has charisma, what does that mean to you to have charisma? Because sometimes charisma can be used in the positive connotation and charisma can be used in the negative connotation. Dana says charm. Jasmine says style. Okay, what else? What does charisma, when someone says that person has charisma, right? If you are a person with charisma, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? Okay, we're going to talk all about how to practice having charisma. And what does that have to do with attracting good men or choosing good men for marriage? Okay. Drop yes in the chat if this sounds like you. Okay. If this sounds like you. You don't know how to talk to men. All right. You don't know how to talk to men, especially the ones you like. You feel like it's desperate to just walk up to a man and start talking to them. Does it sound like you? Okay. You feel like it's desperate to do that. Or when it comes to men, all right, you've decided that you're just going to wait on God. All right. Pamela says yes. All right. You decided that you're waiting on God. Who is waiting on God in here? You're like, I've decided, Latrice, that I'm just going to wait on God. Okay. You've decided to just wait on God. Okay. This is because the Bible says when a man finds a wife, so you're just waiting on God. Okay. Carmelita says, I'm waiting on God. Shaquancy says, because this dating stuff is a headache. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Or maybe You usually, Fatima says, yep, waiting on God. Or maybe you usually wait for a man. How many of you wait for a man to approach you first? A man to approach you first or to say hi first? Nicole was like, me. Okay. All right. Well, listen, Jasmine says, me, I wait for a man to approach me first. Shaquante says, me, you wait for a man to approach you first. Okay. Approach you first or say hi first. All right. Well, if this is you, all right, then you've been taking a back seat when it comes to your relationships. You've been taking the back seat when it comes to your relationships, and it's limiting the men that are available to you. Okay. I want to talk about this. So y'all, I do conferences. Conferences is what I do. All right. I do conferences. All right. Shaquan says, why is it so stressful? Okay. I'm gonna share a story with you guys. Okay. I was at the Cindy Trump's conference. Has anyone been to Cindy Trump's conference, In Your Year Strong? All right. Well, I was at the In Your Year Strong conference. Okay. And so I'm at the conference and I came in the conference early. I was there early. So I came in where you could just still see like empty seats. Okay. I came in and I just so happened to be seated next to a man. And anybody who goes to conferences, you know, usually at these type of conferences, there's more women, way more women than men. Okay. So I just so happened to get sit next to a man. Okay. And not just a man, but it was a fine man and a very attractive man. Okay. A man who also liked to worship. I mean, we were in there worshiping. He was in there worshiping too. Just happened to sit next to a man. Okay. And we had small talk throughout the conference, throughout the event. We shared some small laughs from what the speakers were talking about as we listened to the speakers. And I thought that he was attractive and I knew that he was single. You can kind of tell when a man is single. I didn't see any ring on his finger. I knew he was single because what was he doing in the conference, this Cindy Trump conference with all these women? Anyway, knew he was single. All right. So knew he was single, but I didn't do anything to open the door for more communication with him. All right. But I wanted to. I just wasn't sure how. All right. Well, day one of the conference was over, and I ran to him again at the store, and he noticed me and he smiled. He noticed me smile and he said hi. And I'm like, oh, he noticed me, he noticed me, smiled and said hi to me. And I'm thinking, this is my chance to formally introduce myself because when we was in the conference, it was so much going on. It was loud. So while we laughed, smiled at each other throughout the conference, it wasn't nothing, y'all know, it wasn't nothing like nothing too nothing in a way where I was like, able to have a quality conversation with him. Okay. So I'm thinking that this may be the chance for me to formally introduce myself and share an undistracted conversation with him. Okay. But I got caught up all in my head again and I didn't take the opportunity. All right. So I went downstairs, still the conference. I went downstairs to wait in the line for the conference. And I ran to him again, y'all, 3 times. Okay. Ran to him again as I'm leaving the bathroom. Okay. And as I left the bathroom, all right. So ran into him again. We smiled and kept going. Still, third opportunity to say something to him. All right. So then we're all waiting in line. Everyone's waiting in line, but I had food too. So I wanted to sit on the side and eat. So I'm sitting on the side of the car, sitting on the side, like underneath the steps, and I'm eating. Okay. So as I'm sitting on the side eating my food, I see him standing in line. He's right in front of me. I'm like, I can't get this man out of my eyesight. So he's right in front of me, or even that where I was looking for. Looking for, right? So I'm sitting on the side, I'm eating my food, and I see him standing in line right in front of me. Okay. And then I watch a woman who was standing in front of him. She's wearing stilettos and she's wearing this dress that's so tight that you can see every ounce of her curves. Okay. Stilettos at a Christian conference here. Yeah, she was like, she was out. She was out. She was outside at the Cindy Trump conference. All right. So a woman, she's in front of him wearing stilettos and a dress hugging every ounce of her curve. Right. And I seen her spark up a conversation with him. So she's sparking up a conversation with them. They're laughing and he's smiling. I'm like, what's going on? Like, they laughing, they smiling. I'm like, what's funny? They laughing, they smiling, right? She's laughing, he's nodding. She's nodding her head, looking in his face, and she's seeming like very interested in what she had to say. Like she had this face, like just looking at him, and he's talking and he's smiling, and she's like very interested in what he had to say, right? Next thing you know, next thing you know, they got their phones out and they're exchanging numbers. I hear her talking about Instagram, Facebook, and then they're exchanging numbers, y'all. And here I am, hiding in the corner underneath of the steps, eating my food, while this lady stood in my face and took my man, y'all. She stood in my face and took my man, y'all, okay? I sat there thinking, I'm like, wow, I had 3 opportunities to introduce myself to this man. Obviously, he's like-minded. We're both at a conference, right? We're both worshiping God together. A like-minded man, right? I sat there thinking that if you want it, you have to go and get it. If you want it, then you need to go and get it. I let fear block me from meeting a like-minded good man. And I want you to write this down. Those who get it, they go out and get it. And those who don't, they just don't get it, okay? If this sounds like you, then you are like me, where you've learned how to be reactive about your love life instead of being proactive about your love life. And what it's doing is it's keeping you from a group of men that may be the answers to your prayers, okay? So the solution to this, okay, is to do exactly what this woman did, okay? Practice having charisma, okay? This is learning how to open the door of communication to anyone, including men. Now, charisma is the ability to attract, charm, and influence people around you. It's the ability to make a person feel comfortable while they are around you, okay? Now, another example of having charisma is my friend Blair. I had a friend, Blair, from college, okay? I went to Frostburg State University, so it was a PWC, predominantly white college, okay? And my friend Blair from college, she had charisma. She will always greet you with a big smile, and you can tell that she was happy to see you, okay? She had a way of making a person feel important as soon as they walked in the door. She made a person feel important. She made them feel heard, and she made them feel noticed, okay? And I used to watch her at parties because at a PWC college, there was a whole lot of partying. I would watch her at parties with men, and she wasn't one to flirt with men, okay? She wasn't the one to flirt with men or do any of that, okay? She was one who could just literally stand there and hold a basic conversation with men and with anybody. And y'all, men loved her. I mean, I was her roommate in college. I would have men get close to me. I would have men buy me lunch. I would have men pick me up on the way from school. I would have men do all these little extra sweet treats just to get close to my roommate Blair, just to find out more information about Blair, okay? And they would just get close, just to ask me a question about her and find out what they needed to do to get close to Blair. Blair had charisma, okay? She was very outgoing. She was nice to people, not just men. She was always smiling. She was not quick to get into a relationship. So Blair had so many men that were interested in her, but she was not quick to get into a relationship. She used to always say that to me, like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't, she would ask me questions, is like, no, I'm not interested. She was not quick to get into a relationship, okay? Now she would talk to men, and sometimes I would see her flirt with men, but she would not take, like, men would flirt with her, she would flirt back, but she would not take a man serious unless he came harder to get close to her, unless he came harder to get her attention. She loved people and she loved to have fun. She was very welcoming, always greeting you with a warm smile, and she had a way of making you feel like a superstar in the room. Y'all, Blair is now married with a little baby, and she's living in Bermuda with her husband. I said Bermuda, y'all. She met a man from Bermuda. She's now living in Bermuda with her husband, okay? So the solution is to practice having charisma, okay? That is talking to all men, even the ones you don't like. This is so that you gather up the confidence to talk to the men that you do like. Is this making sense to you all? Are you getting this? Okay. Talk to all men, even the ones you don't like. Okay. Antoinette says she's in my hometown. Who's in your hometown, Antoinette? What are you talking about? Blair? You're not talking about Blair, are you? What are you talking about, Antoinette? No. What's her last name, Blair? What's her last name, Antoinette? Okay. Talk to all men. What's her last name? Antoinette is bluffing, okay? Talk to all men, even the ones you don't, like, so that you gather up the confidence. Oh, she's in my home. That's what you mean. Okay. Yeah, she's in Bermuda. Okay. Talk to all men, even the ones you don't like. This is so that you gather up the confidence to talk to the men that you do like. Okay. This is going to build up your ability to hold a conversation with the men you do find attractive. All right. Clean up your thoughts about men. All right. Sometimes we have thoughts about men. Sometimes that when you've been hurt so much about men, your thoughts about men aren't pure. Okay. You fear getting close to a man, even having a conversation with the man. Sometimes when all that you've known about a man has been sexualized, your thoughts about man is that if a man was to be nice to you or open the door for you or do certain things for you, you can think that a man is interested in you when he's really just being a good person. Okay. A good man is a good person. Okay. So clean up your thoughts about men so you're not believing that just because a man is nice to you, that he likes you. Okay. Some men are just being good men to all people because a good man is still a good person. Okay. Every man, whether you're attractive to them or not, should be acknowledged and respected by you. Oh, I said the word acknowledged and respected by you. Acknowledge men and respect men. Okay. He can be attractive, but not the one for you. And he cannot be attractive and still be respected by you. Are you guys getting this? Okay. Treat all men on the common ground. All right. Treat all men on the common ground. All right. Now, the results of this is that you will open the door to a world of a group of men that weren't available to you before because you were too shy to initiate the conversation and be proactive about your love life. Okay. You can also, it'll make it easier for you to discern a man's character when your emotions are not involved. Okay. Just like sex clouds your judgment, the strong desire for love in marriage, it also clouds your judgment. So put your the romantic side of things when it comes to getting close to a man, put that on hold and learn how to build platonic relationships with men with no strings attached. Okay. No strings attached. Okay. You're turning down the volume on romance and you're focusing on building relationships with men with no strings attached. This is going to make it easier for you to choose the man meant for you using discernment. Okay. Are you guys getting this? Are you getting this? All right. Is this making sense to you? Are you got it? Put got it in the chat if you're getting this. All right. Turn down the volume on romance. Some of you, you've been hurt before. You've been in several relationships, on and off relationships. You've had your share of men, okay? Some of you are even afraid to date again. How many of you are afraid? If you could be completely honest, you feel a little bit afraid to even give a man a try again. You feel afraid to open your heart up to love again. If this is you, then it's time to slow down. Turn down the volume on romance in your life when it comes to men and learn how to build platonic relationships with men. Why is this so important? Okay. For women, and a lot of you women in here, I know just because I know my market, I know the woman that comes to and listen to my workshops, I know who I market to. Okay. I will say 90% of you all on this call today, you had a father who wasn't present. He either wasn't there You maybe don't know your father, or your father was emotionally unavailable. Drop yes in the chat if that's you, okay? Why is this so important? So because of this, you don't know what it means to be loved by a man, to have attention from a man. You don't know what it means to respect a man. You don't know. You didn't grow up experiencing that, okay? So what that means is you have to develop, you have to grow your awareness of what it means to be loved by a man, what it means to be treated by a man, what it means to be respected by a man, what it means for a man just to care about you without you doing anything in return. Without you doing anything in return. What it means to be loved by a man without ever having sex with him. What it means to be friends with a man and to have relationships with a man without any no romantic things involved, okay? This is why it's so important. So if this is you, you feel afraid to date again. You feel afraid to open your heart again, okay? You've had your fair share of men, okay? If this is you, then what you can do is make the decision that you're turning down the volume on the romantic side of your relationship. And you're going to focus on building platonic relationships with men. You're going to focus on just meeting men, getting to know men at the bare minimum, okay? At the bare minimum, getting to know a man, no strings attached, all right? And if things were to develop into something more, at the very least, you've learned who this man is before you've developed feelings for him, okay? This is a safe way of approaching your relationships and approaching your love life with a low risk of getting your heart broken again, okay? At the end of the day, if this relationship doesn't go towards, at the end of the day, if the relationship doesn't move towards marriage or move towards anything serious, at the very least, you've got a friend and you've got your heart protected, okay? And it's also going to expose you to what it means to have a healthy relationship with the man on a sound level, okay? All right. So turning down the volume on romance and focusing on building relationships with no strings attached. It's going to make it easier for you to choose the man meant for you with discernment. And this is the thing. The more you meet good men, you increase your chances of marrying one. Okay. The more you meet good men, you increase your chances of marrying one. So again, by doing this, you're going to open yourself up to a different group of men, okay? You're initiating conversations. You're getting to know men. Why? Because you've turned down the romantic side of your love. You've turned down the romantic sides when it comes down to men. You've turned down the romantic side of things when it comes to men. So now when you're meeting men, you don't have that in the back of your mind. What if he likes me? What if you likes me? You don't care, right? You don't care if he likes you. You're being a good person. You're being a good person to good people, to all men, okay? No strings attached, okay? You're going to increase your circle of men, increase increase your exposure to a different group of men, and by doing so, you'll increase the chances of you meeting a good man. And if you increase the chances of you meeting a good man, you also increase the chances of you marrying one. Easy. All right. So what can you do to start this? Okay. We talked about this on day one. Acknowledgement. All right. Acknowledgement. Initiate the conversation. Meet men. Don't be like how I was at that conference, hiding underneath of the stairs, eating food and watching the lady take my man right in my face. Okay. Don't be like that. Don't be like me. All right. Don't be like how I was. All right. I want you to initiate the conversation. So if I was to do anything different, I would have simply said, hey, I'm Latrice. Do you live in this area? How do you like the conference? Let's stay in touch. Boom. Now he's my friend on Instagram. Now we're friends on Facebook. Boom. Now I need somebody to talk at my conference and I think about him and see if he wants to talk at my conference. Boom. Now we're friends. Boom. Now he's interested in me. Boom. Now I'm married. Boom. Now we're kids. Now we're living in Bermuda. All right. So y'all listen, easily, right? Easy, right? Easy, right? Does this seem hard to you? Who believes that they'll have a hard time doing this? Who believe that let me know if you think that you could do this, if you were to turn down the volume on a romantic side of your life and you turn up the volume on simply getting to know people, including men. So by doing this, you've made the goal that for the rest of this year, I am going to expand my network. So every time I see a man, every time I get the opportunity to talk to a man or even people in general, I am going to do it. I am going to be a good person to good people with no strings attached, and doesn't matter if they can do anything for me. Okay. How many people believe that they can do that? Drop yes in the chat if you can do this. If you can make this vow for the rest of this year that you are going to focus on simply expanding your network, all right, with good people, including good men. Dana says yes. Jamie says agreed. DJ says yes. Okay. Who else said yes? Nicole says yes. Okay. Who else? Antoinette says she can do this. Shaquanti says she can do this. Easy, 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 easy. Okay. It's not going to be hard. This is another approach to meeting a good man. Okay, you know, married couples who've been married for years, right? What is the number one thing that married couples say when it comes to the person that they're spending the rest of their life with? What is the number one things that they say? I think we all know it. What is the number one thing that most married couples who've been married for 30 plus years, what do they always say about the person that they're married to? Absolutely. They were friends first, okay? Okay, Antoinette says love them, but Jamie got it. They were friends first, okay? Truly platonic friends. Some of them weren't even attractive to each other, okay? They were truly friends first, not situationships, okay? Not googly-eyed friends, okay? Not friends and you giving up the booty on the side. None of that. They were friends first, platonic friends, okay? Antoinette says, my parents have been together 51 years and it was love at first sight. Beautiful, okay? They were friends first. So you can take this approach to your love life, okay? And by doing this, you're being proactive about your love life and not reactive about your love life. And it's a soft approach to getting to know new men with no strings attached, all right? All right, questions, okay? We now have a few minutes open. I'm gonna spend 10 minutes now to answer any questions you have about charisma, any questions you have about doing it. Any questions for me? All right. Any questions for me? Any questions for me? So again, this is for women. Okay. You feel hurt. All right. You've had your fair share of men. You've had your heart broken. Okay. You even feel afraid to even open your heart up again. Okay. And when it comes to dating, you don't even know how to date. You don't even know where to start with dating. Okay. You might not even been on dates before. All right. You don't know what it means to be dated. Okay. If this is you, this is another approach to meeting men, okay? This is an approach of meeting men, getting to know men risk-free, okay? Low risk of anything happening, low risk of premature attachment, low risk of getting your heart broken, okay? All right, all right, all right. Any questions? Any questions about anything? All right, any questions about anything? And Antoinette, what you're talking about, you're saying, your parents has been together 51 years and it was love at first sight. Beautiful, okay? Now, what I like to say about love at first sight, all right? It happens, okay? But for a woman who's had a lot of unhealthy relationships, don't go into a relationship believing that the man you meet is going to be love at first sight. Yes, your parents have been married 51 years and it was love at first sight, all right? But I can guarantee you that was not the result of their being married for 51 years. It wasn't because it was love at first sight, all right? I'm pretty sure your parents would agree, building a friendship first, all right? Getting to know each other first, right? I'm pretty sure they would agree to that, okay? But love at first sight is not it wasn't the answer. It wasn't the reason for them being married for 51 years, okay? So for women, like I said, for women who had a history of unhealthy relationships, Don't go into a relationship believing this. This is one of the reasons behind premature attachments, okay? We get caught up all in our head when we meet a man. We meet a man who crosses all the T's and dots all the I's, and we believe that this may be the one without even getting to know a man, right? We marry the man in our head before we even get to know a man, okay? So when it comes to women, if you are a woman who've experienced a lot of unhealthy relationships, don't go into a relationship believing in love at first sight. All right? That's not a solution. All right? Okay. Carmelita says, that's definitely me. Like my parents was together forever, and I have definitely believed it. You are definitely dropping some gems. Absolutely. Okay. Yes, we get caught up in our head. All right. We end up marrying a man in our head, and we're just like, after all of these dusties I've had, I finally met a good man, and it's just maybe the one. So on day 3, you're meeting him, you're talking to him, he's saying all the good things, all the whispers and stuff, and you've married him in your head. You're already thinking about how you're already thinking about how his last name is going to look at the end of your name. You're already thinking about how it's going to look, y'all walking down the aisle. You've already painted a picture of what the wedding is going to look like. You've married the man in your head without even really getting to know him. Without getting to know him. Okay. So those love at first sight stories, it happens, but it happens rarely. So my answer to you, I admonish you to not go in believing that that's going to happen for you. Okay. All right. Come on, Carmelita says, I've been a believer of approaching men. Never had that problem. I enjoy meeting new people. It's just a discernment for me. This is perfect, Carmelita. If it's just a discernment for you, then take your time. Okay, we're going to talk about discernment on day 3. Okay, tomorrow we're going to talk all about discernment. Okay, and that one is going to be powerful. We're going to talk all about discernment. Okay, the only thing discernment is learning the difference between a good man and a man that's not good. Is learning the difference between a flawed man and a broken man. Is learning the difference between a flawed man or a flawed relationship in a dysfunctional relationship, okay? For women who's had histories of unhealthy relationships, okay? You're more likely been in dysfunctional relationships, and you've stayed in these dysfunctional relationships because you believe that you believe that instead of this being dysfunctional, you believe that these was just flaws. In other words, you've watered down dysfunction and you've called it flaws. All right. In other words, you've become numb to dysfunction, and dysfunction becomes the way you function when it's all you know. Okay. So day 3, we're going to talk all about that. All right. Any other questions for me? Any other questions for me before we drop? Any other questions for me? So I want you ladies to practice this. Practice turning down the volume on your romantic, like on the romance of things, okay? And turn up the volume of simply meeting men, introducing yourself to men, acknowledging men, affirming men, and that's it. That's it, all right? And by doing so, you're going to open yourself up to another pool of men that wasn't available to you before because you've been reactive about your love life instead of being proactive about your love life. All right. Now, if you are a woman who is ready to take your love life to the next level, let me see, was it another question? Okay, if you're a woman who are ready to take your love life to the next level, okay, and you're ready to position yourself as a wife, you're ready to position yourself as a wife so that you attract the love of your life, then my Ready for Love process is for you. Now, in Ready for Love, you're going to go through the step-by-step process of becoming the woman you need to attract your purpose partner. Now, this is for you if you keep having the same kinds of relationships, okay? And again, you've tried everything to see different. You've tried everything to get different results in your love life, okay? You've tried counseling, you've tried YouTube, and you've even tried dating sites, okay? And it's still ending up with the same results, okay? And it's not working. If you've never had a real committed relationship, or most of your relationships were unhealthy, then this is for you, okay? Now for you, if this sounds like you, it goes much deeper than just choosing better men. It's deeper than just choosing better men, okay? It can be harder for you to just feel attractive, okay? And it can even be a little harder for you to initiate conversations with men. It can even be harder for you to even build a relationship with a man without getting your feelings involved, okay? That means there's a little bit more work there for you. You need a little bit more work, all right? Now, if this sounds like you, then we need to get to the root of the relationship patterns. We have to get to the root of what's there. If that sounds like you, then it's a heart problem, okay? So we have to get to the root of that heart problem so that you can start having healthy relationships for marriage. So in Ready for Love, we unpack your past, see where you are, and we learn what you need to do to start attracting quality men for marriage. You'll know where you need to be. You'll learn how to show up to attract the man meant for you, okay? And Ready for Love is not just about getting married, all right? It's easy to get married. It's easy to get married. Getting married is the easy part, okay? Marrying the right one and staying married, that's the hard part, okay? All right. The goal is to not just get married, excuse me, y'all, not to just get married, but to stay married by making sure you marry the right one, okay? So this is for you. The first step is going to book a call. You'll book a call. We'll find out where you are. Why can't I copy this? Hang on, y'all. The first step will be to book a call. We'll get on the call. We'll talk about your past relationships. We'll talk about where you are. I'll figure out what your problem is. I'll learn what your problem is. And if my solution can help you, then I can help you. At the end, we'll discuss different ways to work together, okay? All right, so that's the link in the chat. If this is for you, you can go ahead and book your call. And yeah, I'll announce this again on day 3. But if this is for you, you can go ahead and book your call right now to see if this is for you. If this is for you, then we can start working together right away. All right. I know I don't have as much room on my calendar, so this is only book the call if this sounds like you. If you really believe that you need that extra help, that extra push to get you to where you need to be. All right. If this is for you, if that sounds like you, then book your call to get started. All right. Now, for the rest of you ladies, meet me back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. for day 3, where we're going to talk all about discernment and what it means to discern good men, okay? How to choose good men and discern good men so that you can start having healthier relationships that's going to lead from marriage, all right? You all have a good night, and I will talk to most of you all tomorrow, all right? Talk to y'all later. Thanks, Dana.